Okay, so yes, as you can see, we have a lot of people joining, and we traditionally, of course, we in a Siebel Friday we start talking about the latest Siebel release, which has just been released. So Siebel 2026 is officially on, which is always great on January. People are eagerly waiting, at least me, uh, to see the new release. And of course, it's just a monthly update. So again, I think it's tradition to say 26.1 is just a few weeks older or a few weeks newer than 25.12. So it's a consecutive monthly release. It's not an entirely brand new Siebel. And we have guests today. So we have Uday here from softclouds, and we have Gururaj from Rabobank. They will be presenting very interesting things they do in and around Siebel. So stay tuned for these presentations. Welcome, Uday. Welcome, Guru. And of course, also welcome my good friend and partner in crime, Richard. Both of us, we run the siebelhub.com, your only always up-to-date place for the Siebel CRM curriculum. And we, of course, are very proud to partner with Oracle University. So you can go to siebelhub.com or you can go to education.oracle.com to get the latest training. And we are working, or we have worked hard over the past weeks to bring out brand new courses on open integration, the 25.12 feature, and intelligent data archival, also courtesy of 25.12. So if you're interested in learning that, getting ahead of the curve, then go to siebelhub.com where you can purchase those modules. Or if you have already subscribed, of course, to our big courses, like the integration full course, then of course the always up-to-date guarantee hits on you because you get these modules in your subscription.
And it's always up to date, and it was up to date as late as today.
Yes, exactly. So, and we also are planning and already undertaking a new way of learning with the Siebel Hub. We are using Zoom, as you have noticed, for the Siebel Friday registration. We use the same thing. We are now using Zoom Scheduler to allow you to find a slot for your personal live training or your personal meetings or your free training assessment for your team. So if you're interested in not just learning module by module, but you want to have a discussion, what's the best learning path for you or your team, you can find the link later. I put it in the chat. I put all the links in the chat, but you see, you can book a free training assessment, or you can book immediately live training sessions, pick your slot from a calendar, and you're booked. Of course, this is paid training, like Siebel Friday is free. The training assessment is free, but the training, of course, is not entirely free, but at a very reasonable price. So this is a new initiative allowing us to be more interactive, have more live training sessions. And the first live training sessions went really well. So I have to say that for myself. Okay. So Siebel 26.1 is out, and it's another real banger, I have to say. 25.12 was a real surprise, a Christmas present for the Siebel nerds out there, because we got so much to play with. And I'm already playing around with the web component framework and the repository update. And that's not a typo, by the way. It's now repository update and not repository upgrade anymore. But more about that in a few moments. Siebel Loyalty gets an update. Event-based rewards, that's called. And then Oracle announced certification for Siebel to run on Microsoft Azure SQL. I guess that's the cloud database service of Microsoft. I haven't used it before. And the mobile tablet applications get the Redwood theme. So, Tomcat is up to 10.147. So let's dig a little bit into these features. So Web Component Framework, what does it mean? A while ago, Oracle has begun shipping Siebel with Oracle Chat. You might remember the task-based UI that was enhanced with Oracle Chat as a demo. So there are two new tasks like create a customer and order, and those already run using Oracle Chat web components. And now Oracle takes this a step further. I haven't really gotten my mind around it, but it's based on the idea that you can replace more or less the physical renderer with a, well, with a Oracle Chat component presentation model. So the presentation model gets enhanced so that it can bind events to the Oracle Chat component. So your Siebel applets stay in place, the physical renderer stays in place, but the rendering is then done by Oracle Chat. So that's how I understand it right now. It coexists with the old OpenUI, so you can run one applet or one view using the classic OpenUI, and you can run another view or modernize them one by one using Oracle Chat. It uses client-side JSON templates. That's a technique that we have been teaching for a long time in our OpenUI masterclass. So somebody at Oracle listened. Just kidding. So JSON templates are used to drive the Oracle Chat components, to drive the linking and the binding. It's only supported with the Redwood theme. So you have to go full Redwood to benefit from this framework. So it's something that you can use to build something. It's not a ready-to-use new user interface. Okay, so yeah, if anyone from Oracle in the room, I think I saw Richard, Brian, hello there.
Well, I don't have a lot to add to that, Alex. I wasn't really close to this, but I know the
Mhm.
idea is that it allows your one of the intentions is that it should allow your, say, your UI people in your organization to more easily meld Siebel into the rest of your enterprise,
Mhm.
beyond Siebel, through consistency in the UI and stuff. So it allows those people who are more familiar with the Oracle Jet components as and not necessarily Siebel to be able to work with Siebel more easily. I think that's one of the goals here.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Brian. Yeah, I have opened the machine where I just updated to 26.1, and one thing that um, was apparent, there's a new sample file after a long period of no fresh samples. There's a new sample file, account summary dashboard PM, and that's a view presentation model apparently for the account summary view. So I haven't really tried it. I didn't have the time, but maybe we have time later afterwards. So I think this sample is supposed to just showcase what you can do. And if you scroll down in that sample, you see what Oracle means by client-side JSON template. So you literally have a property you add to the presentation model, the Siebel component config, and which is a JSON element. And you can see those Oracle Chat components being imported here, the applets getting more or less variables to refer to them later. And there's the component configuration. There's callback views defined, callback functions, sorry. So again, it's super interesting and it's very fresh. So I have nothing else to say apart from, okay, there's a sample and there's documentation. And yeah, we are surely excited that this is coming together.
There should also be soon. I don't have a date for you on it. Well, it may be available. I just don't have it in front of me. There will be a Cloud Customer Connect on this from the product management team that was involved in building it sometime within probably the next month. So if you do want to learn more about the specific one, keep an eye on the Cloud Customer Connect and the Siebel blog. John, I'm sure will announce it there. to catch the data on that and be able to hear about it more directly from the team that worked on it.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks, Brian. Yes. And that I think, Brian, is your baby, and the repository update, that replaces the repository upgrade. So it's a new naming convention, of course, but it's not just a name. So upgrade was always a little bit confusing people because they confused it with the big upgrade you had to do from IP14 to Siebel 25. And now it's just following the update naming convention. So the command line utility and everything else has been duly renamed. So if you're like me, if you have a script that you run, it doesn't run anymore, but you can change that easily. It's the same utility apparently as the parameters are concerned. But there's one big difference. If you look into the zip files, there's a repository update zip file that has all the changes from Oracle since version 20.3. It used to be zip files until 25.12. So you got more or less 60 plus zip files that were at the worst case imported at the same time into your repository if you never ran the repository upgrade. Now you get the same amount of information, but you get it in much compressed TDF format. So I learned yesterday from Brian that it's true delta file. And the delta is defined such that it contains only the atomic changes that Oracle made, like changing a user property, adding a field to a BC, and stuff like that. So the risk of Oracle overwriting your custom standard object definition, for example, you changed, many people do this, you change the search specification, sort specification of a vanilla BC like action, and that gets brutally overwritten when you do the 25.12 repository upgrade, but it doesn't get overwritten anymore when you do the 26.1 repository update. And I tested that and I can confirm that works that way. So the risk of conflicts is much, much less by order of magnitude. So yeah, Brian, you have been presenting this in Frankfurt last year, and now it's real. And I think it's a great opportunity for customers who have felt reluctant to pick up the repository upgrade to give it a try and of course test it on their sandboxes and then find out for themselves that it's much less intrusive.
If I may, just because as you said, this one was kind of my baby here. I've been my team and I worked on this one for quite a while. And while it seemed simple, it was more complicated than we thought. But for those of you who didn't hear me talk about this in Frankfurt, but I'll extend even that. We brought, I think we're up to 7 customer databases in-house, development repository databases. And we ran a comparison of running this using the old approach with the CIF files versus the new approach with the TDF files. And then we also, just for analysis purposes, imported a base 17 repository. And so we did a bunch of SQL analysis and so on, and 3-way compares and so on. And we took, we found that there'd be something like 10,000 cases where we would have overwritten a customer's intentional change. As Alex mentioned, they change a search spec. We would overwrite it and change it back. And we found there could be, we found up to 10,000 in the worst case scenario from one of these customers where we overwrote an intentional change they made. We then ran it with the TDF and compared. And in all 7, we overwrote 0.
That's
of their changes.
That's cool. Yes.
And when I first saw that number, I assumed my team had screwed up the analysis. I'll be honest, okay? Because that seems incredible, right? Like, how is that possible? Well, the more I thought about it, it seemed reasonable. As we've been releasing all these new features, they're additive. We don't go back and change a search spec on some existing BizCom, right? And we could, but it's extremely doubtful because we're adding new objects and we're adding new fields to existing BizComps, for example, but they're new fields. And so adding those to your customer repository isn't going to overwrite anything because you don't have that field.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So I think, for those of you who are customers and have struggled with this, I ask that you give it another shot. If you're a partner, I ask that you learn, to play with this yourself, get one of your customer databases and do your own analysis if you have doubts. I understand this has been a big pain point. Reach out and talk to me, but to me, this is a game changer, and it's not about taking updates. It's about being able to take new features. And so this is, to me, is a game changer in how we're able to distribute new features to all of you, as well as keep current on things like Tomcat and all that. But you can do that with the binaries. This lets you take new features. And so all the other stuff Alex ever talks about on these Fridays, that you've been jealous you can't take, now you can. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, I thank you for indulging me, Alex. But this is something I'm very proud of because I think it's a game changer.
This is amazing.
And
well, congratulations, Brian, and your team.
Congratulations. Yeah. Give it up for Brian and the team.
And don't you feel bad for doubting your team when you said you weren't sure that they hadn't screwed up the stats?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Please, as Brian said, do give it a try, especially if you felt reluctant to the repository upgrade. Now it's an entirely different game, and I already tried it on a slightly modified Siebel, and it worked great. Okay, we have a few more things to talk before we go to our guest presentations. This one I'll keep quick. Loyalty. There are some loyalty people in the room, and Siebel Loyalty gets a new set of tables and business components around capturing event-based rewards. Think of it's the birthday of the member, or it's an anniversary of the member, and they get rewards for that event to happen. So like gift points are gifted, etc. So that is definitely a nice improvement. And also Redwood has made it to mobile applications. So you can now, just took that screenshot literally a few minutes before starting. And it's a side menu only, of course, before it's optimized for tablets. And it works on tablet-sized devices. So for now, I think the limit is still I tried it on my phone and it looked like the old smartphone UX from Siebel 20. So it's only for tablet-sized devices.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Thanks for confirming. Yes. So yeah, new training also on the web component framework, etc. We are working on that. And I'll stop sharing now, and I'll open the floor for Uday and the team from softclouds.
Thanks, Alex, and thanks everyone for your time, for taking your time to join this call. Today, I'm representing Uday Kumar Javangala. I'm representing softclouds. So today, along with Alex, we're going to present our Capture Agentic AI along with Siebel, how we're going to empower existing CRM, enterprise CRM with our Capture Agentic AI platform, and how we can convert existing CRM into personalized and AI-powered and predictive kind of thing. So since AI is being growing along with multiple areas, so this is where we come up with one solution, one product solution, where we can enhance the experience from existing CRM of Siebel without any disturbing existing business process of the customer, right? And with today's agenda, what we're going to say is about how we created this agentic platform and integrated with Siebel, and how we are going to do the modernizing the Siebel with AI capabilities, and a couple of information about our agentic AI architecture. Along with that, we are going to do 2 quick live demos, and we are open for question and answer. And feel free to ask your questions if you have anything. Venkat, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Uday. Good morning, everyone. I just want to talk about the softclouds. Basically, it's a global IT consulting company. We have like from more than 20 plus years. We are specializing in enterprise application and digital transformation and the AI-driven solution. We are a Oracle Platinum partner. We are been a trusted Siebel beta tester for 15 plus year. We closely work with Oracle product teams for any new features, anything for the POC perspective. And we have a global footprint across India, like India, Luxembourg, Europe, Japan, and here in United States. It's more like cost effective for the offshore delivery while supporting on the both on-site and hybrid for the client engagement perspective. And you can see the our Siebel work at delivering the large scale Siebel implementation across vertical and horizontal domains, including the complex Siebel upgrade and enterprise transformation and the integrations. Yeah, I'll give it to you back, Uday.
Yep. Thanks, Venkat. Yeah. So since we're talking about AI, why AI is benefit for Siebel, so I'm just talking, touch basing few of the areas, how we can get benefited with AI with Siebel. So when we say the traditional CRMs are reactive, but this AI can make them into predictive and proactive systems. So that is where we are just enabling the proactive kind of thing, where agent can perform some kind of autonomous decisions and autonomous actions on top of existing transactional data that we have. So mostly here you can see that we can enhance the very personalized response for end user. That is the main key thing. And even for administrator point of view, they don't need to roam around different screens in the CRM or Siebel to look about the specific data. We can have this agentic AI plugin into the Siebel, and they can use this simple AI chatbot as an agent. They can query, they can do any kind of actions as per the business process flow. That is the one area. And based on that, since we're using a LLM model in the behind the scene, we'll be able to play around with the very smartly on the data analytics to see the reports, how the data is being growing, and what are the kind of different analytics that we can provide for an internal organization. And also we can automate the regular usage or regular work that we are doing day-to-day basis using agentic AI platform. And example, I can say, if you're making any data entry by an administrator, so no need to do that manually. We can have an agent created that can take care about your regular day-to-day basis, like data entries or archiving some kind of existing transaction data, monitoring the data, right? Take the best action on top of it. And it's not just publicly available, but we need to adhere existing CRM security and knowledge governance. So we have all the security and at the AI level to enable customer data is not being exposed to any explicit model that we are going to use it. And we are maintaining all the scalability and security by doing all the knowledge governance and guardrails at the AI level, right? Those are the key things I want to emphasize here. With AI, the Siebel can shift from a system of records to the system of intelligence, right? That's what we are projecting, enhancing the experience from by enabling AI into the Siebel. Okay, so if you look at capture agentic AI architecture, here let's talk about this architecture. So here I'm considering at the top level, you can see there are multiple data sources where each organization can have their data into different data sources or data lakes. So our agentic platform is intelligent enough to crawl the data in real time and store it into repository along with the AI embeddings. And on top of the data, we can create multiple set of agents. We have the agentic AI platform built from the scratch, where you can create an agent and define your business rule what type of task automation that you're going to look for your organization. And knowledge can be retrieved from different data sources, as mentioned at the top of the screen. And your Siebel transaction data or any kind of attachments that you have, knowledge that is already having tribal knowledge at the Siebel, even that also can be crawled, even including the Oracle database or different databases, along with their roles and privileges can be crawled and can be available for agent to process it. So in Agentic AI, we built our capture reasoning engine, which takes the decisions according to the agent configuration that we provide. And we have the trust layer to secure your customer information, not to expose to the LLM. And we do all this PII masking, detecting the patterns of the knowledge source or the transaction source and convert into encrypted format. And we can decrypt that information when we are rendering to the end user. So we built this complete end-to-end pipeline and custom integrations here. And the platform is intelligent enough to plug and play your models. So you can bring in your own model and plug and play. So it's not mandatory to go with only the model that is being configured. You can use OpenAI or Azure, any kind of models that we have. And it is cloud agnostic. The platform is deployed into AWS or GCP or Azure. And it is capable of taking any open source model. You can just create that specific information and work around it, right? It can also generate the analytics out of it. And since we have enabled the security and privacy, so data will not go beyond that server that we configured. This is what I want to highlight about architecture. And quickly, I'm going to the first use case. We are talking the real business use case here, where first thing is we have built this loyalty agent where it can do the regular day-to-day task within the loyalty information intelligently using agentic AI. So it can refer to whatever that I've highlighted here, the data objects like members, tier information, or transactions, right? Everything is retrieved from Siebel database, right? The agent can crawl the information, or it can also communicate in real time, connecting to the database and retrieving it based on the privileges that they have, data object permissions. We are providing that security to retrieve only the privilege that specific user is having. And we'll be able to support existing tribal knowledge of attachments into the Siebel. We can crawl this, we can upload the pages, attachments into the Siebel, and we can crawl, and this agent will be able to respond in real time to process your records as well as the information that we are going to have in the attachments point of view, right? So that is a one use case from loyalty point of view. I'm going to demonstrate it. So here you can see, since we're talking about loyalty information, so this will contain within the Siebel contains all the Siebel information like member information, and member will have all the transactions that are made in the history, whether it is redeeming their points or creating kind of the vouchers that they have. All this information is available in the loyalty member level. And we can also have the program administration. So here the administration can be configured. What kind of rules can be enabled at the loyalty program level? And here I'm talking about two types of data. One is, you can see it is a transactional data, member record available in Siebel in real time, and also their set of transactions. You can see each transaction detail, right? This is retrieving from Siebel. But we can also have another information at the program level. I'm just having as an attachment concept, right? So here you can attach all kind of loyalty information, legal opinion information, or any kind of voucher redeemable terms and conditions. Everything can be uploaded at the attachment section. So let me open and upload one document. So this is intelligent enough on whenever you create this document, right? Automatically, it is going to sync data into our capture platform. We have that integration enabled. You can see that document is created, right? And at the top right corner, you will see one agent here, one chatbot, simple chatbot. We're not disturbing any existing process flow or business flow from Siebel. We just enable this particular plug and play of our Capture Agentic AI into this Siebel as just a plugin, right? So here I can ask about our existing transactional information. Example, if we take this record, right? Right, I just fire a query, just a natural, because it's a conversational chatbot and also agentic chatbot. You can just ask any kind of transactional information by asking a simple natural query. And our agent is intelligent enough to understand that what is the context and intent. And it is going to fire a query against the Siebel database record, transactional data, and it is generating the response here. Still, we can ask, like, give me the list of transactions. So it is going to process our record, and based on this, it is generating the response, number of transactions that are being created by the agent here. Right, you can see this all transactions that are being made by this user. So we can also ask multiple users, like different users or different transactional information. That is a one level of agent that is helpful of making you as an admin, right? As a agent admin, we can also ask multiple conversational questions to get the insights of transactional information. Same way, since we have the knowledge that is available in the attachments level, right? As we uploaded one of the loyalty admin document, so I can also ask that one of the question, like how to make. So I just ask a question that this question is specific to the attachments that we uploaded in real time, and it is indexed into our repository and available for end user or this agent to perform a search on top of it. I'm just asking a question saying that how to make an employee as a loyalty member, right? So this loyalty admin document has a complete information on step-by-step approach. I'll show you that one quick document, what document that I picked. You can see this, it's almost 650 pages of document. Out of it, I can say that how do we add the employee? There are some steps here, like step-by-step information. And our agent is quickly indexed it in real time. And it is answering the question by picking that context and giving you the step-by-step information, which is available in the attachment document. So it is quick enough to get the information in real time with no matter of like just fraction of seconds. We'll be able to get that of existing knowledge as well as transactional information. Same way, we can generate reports about our existing patterns, how many kind of redeem types that they have, how many cancellation records or transactions are happened. It's all conversational point of view. So no need to, it's a low code, no code platform. You can just configure your agent as per the business rule. Then we'll be able to manipulate your render the data into end user point of view. Either it for end customer, we can plug in this chatbot into end customer, or for the internal admin within the Siebel also. And this has the voice capability. So you can also, without typing it, you can use voice command to, which will convert the speech to text, speech synthesis, and it is able to perform the operations again here. So this is one of the use case through Siebel we want to present, which is talking about the loyalty information, where it will help you to provide the quick customer support without waiting for the answer from referring to multiple documents, opening that document by agent. It takes a lot of time. We'll be able to provide the quick response to the end user. Right. So this is one of the real-time intelligence that we enabled in Siebel, one of the live demo I want to showcase. And second point I want to take you through another use case. This is also another real business scenario where I can say, since we have the agent, so this agent is not specific to one particular domain, and it is multi-domain specific. You can configure, as I mentioned here, you can configure multiple set of agents for different domains, right? So this is one of the loyalty information specific to airline industry. And another demo that I'm talking about is we can create this agent to perform specific healthcare related. This use case I'm taking one of the healthcare industry enterprise organization. They used to receive all kind of prescriptions in a mail format or the fax, scanned faxes as images. And our agent will be able to extract that entities or content from that handwritten prescriptions or digital prescriptions. And it is able to extract the complete content and index it. And it can sync that record into Siebel in real time, right? So now we are talking about, earlier we talked about unstructured and structured data. And here we are talking about the multimodal, like image manipulation also, right? Image processing. And we'll be able to extract that 99% of accuracy and faster data entry to the CRM updates. So let me go back to the screen quickly. So here we can, as I mentioned, so earlier I've showcased this chatbot from Siebel. Same way, this is one of the scenario I'm just explaining from other portal point of view. So what happens here, we'll be able to upload that specific image, right? Or you can upload your PDFs or documents, anything. And the agent is able to read that information and it is going to extract the information, and it generated this. You can see that it is submitted to Siebel and it is redirecting to the Siebel with the record that is available in the prescription. Along with data entry has been made to the Siebel. This I'm talking about prescription, right? You can see all the doctor information, patient information, and the patient health conditions and medication details. So everything is retrieved in real time by agent, and it made CRM entry to the Siebel. So like this, we can make any kind of different use cases can be built using agentic AI platform through Capture. So these are the two use cases I would like to cover and showcase you that here today. So any questions we'll be able to take on top of it.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Super great information. Yeah, please give it up. Give it up for Uday and the team from softclouds. Yeah, AI is not going away, right? So that is definitely not going to happen. I have one question, Uday.
Yes.
The big question, which is probably on everybody's mind, you mentioned it, but just to confirm, the model, the LLM itself, it can run inside the confines of the customer's data center, so no data is leaving the building. Is that correct?
Yes. So if you're going with any in-house like open source model, like example, if we take Mistral or something, open source model, Alex, so we can bound. Yeah, think of that Mistral or something. We can create that boundary. Not your data is not being exposed outside, since we are deploying this into a separate server, dedicated server for a customer. Data will not be crossed out of that model and will not be exposed out. It is just communicating to your Siebel data.
Yes,
Alex.
Yeah. There's a new generation of low-cost models coming that run on CPUs and not GPUs, so the hardware costs are going down already. And
yes,
I think that's the biggest concern, at least to every Siebel customer I talk to about AI. The biggest concern is, will our data be shared with the world in the next iteration of the model, or will it stay private? Of course, it must stay private. It's vital business data. It's PII data. It's patient data that, like you've shown, that must never be shared outside. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
thanks
Yeah.
for confirming.
Even today, Alex, we tried with Mistral 7 billion with CPU, not GPU. So
Okay, good to
it all
hear.
depends on what you want to do and things like that. Even options are available today, but you are right, a lot more the cheaper LLMs are coming. So
Yes.
customers can enjoy that.
It's just a matter of time, really, I guess. I have no crystal ball, but it's a very easy guess. Yeah, that Murphy's law applies to. Not Murphy. No, who was the other guy? Moore's. Moore's law.
Most.
Murphy's law applies as well, and Moore's law applies as well. Okay. So, yeah, any other questions for the team from Soft Clouds? So put them in the chat for backlog, so we might answer them later. Yes?
Yes, Alex. Thanks, Alex, for this opportunity. Just want to summarize that. We bring into the table with deep Siebel expertise as well as practical AI engineering. We have our own AI engineering team where we are working along with Siebel integration. So we are a trusted partner of Siebel, right? So with lots of industry experience and proven CRM CX delivery. So we are ready for future implementations, if any. Yeah.
I think there is a question. I think Usman, you want to go in the chat? Yeah.
Yes, there's a question in the chat. I just read it for the sake of the recording. The bot and Siebel database is connected through APIs. That's the question.
So the database is crawled into OpenSearch index, and then from the crawl, we access that one to answer the question. So it's not through the API.
Okay, so you preload the data into an OpenSearch instance first, and that is.
Otherwise, the reason is basically otherwise we need to ask every source system to provide APIs for each, and then you don't know how many questions and how many different APIs they need to create with one object or many objects and things like that. So instead, this is more cost-effective approach. We don't need the source system to create any APIs and things like that. We crawl the data and use LLM to dissect the data in OpenSearch. And that OpenSearch also sits within the enterprise world, not going anywhere. So from security point of view.
Makes sense. And there's another question from Santiago. What is the impact in performance and infrastructure?
Great question. So from Siebel application point of view, as I said, just answered, we are not touching the database and things like that. Once the database is crawled, and then all incremental crawling can happen in real time as you as you update and create records in the database. So the performance will be very minimal. And even in that case, if you want, if you have a active DR site or something, instead of pulling it from direct production, we can pull this one from DR site also if you don't want to touch the production. So those options are available. And the performance of the AI is basically, it is on, as Uday mentioned, it's on the separate server. It's not going to impact your Siebel users anyway.
Of course, you need to procure that server and make it beefy enough for the LLM. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much again. And yes, now I hand over to Gururaj from Rabobank. Guru, are you here? Yes.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Alex. And yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Guru. So I'm working at Rabobank, and I am working at Siebel from almost like 14 years in all areas of Siebel, so admin, configuration, development, etc. So that's a brief introduction about me. And today I wanted to discuss on two topics. One is the Siebel modernization, and another one is Siebel parallel processing. So these two came out of what I call as my lab system because of the difficulties that I experience using current Siebel and the limitations that it has. And quickly, I'll share my screen, so we'll just directly jump into discussion. So first I'll share the 2 slides, then we can go about the demo. Sure.
Yes, all good. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so the title looks like Siebel modernization and something we are changing or doing something, but it is way simpler that I have seen many customers and even within our domain that we still use, deploy Siebel as a large application, even for, proof of concept or something. And it is very difficult to upgrade those systems. You have to have a server, database, everything. It takes time, cost, and of course, money. So what I was trying to achieve was Siebel has provided Docker a long back. So why not use Docker, and also the Docker environment or repository have a lot of other stuff. So using, for example, the OIDC, identity management, the Apache, everything that an enterprise needs. So I thought of using all these containers to make an enterprise level lab setup. So um, that's what the problem I just discussed about, that how legacy Siebel systems are, built and how they are upgraded. It takes just cost, time, money, and you have upgrade risks as well. You have to patch up the servers, everything. So I'll just skip through the slides because it's all the same. Yeah. So the solution is, of course, Docker. So you have Docker running Siebel, you have Docker running your identity management, you have Docker running your Apache, and you can all have other stuffs like, of course, database is also on Docker. So that's what the solution I implemented. And this is on a high level, what and all the Dockers that is currently that I have, which is running. And of course, Helm I don't have, so which is an extension I'm working on. But rest of the thing is already there. I have Apache, I have Keycloak for identity management, I have LDAP for directory management, database, and I even have micro API written in Python that I can simulate the external API calls. And so this is just the benchmarks. I will go to the next slide, which explains in more detail. So this is in detail how much time it took, to set up the Docker and the applications. And it is pretty fast. And since it is a development environment, and if you want to, in future upgrade, it is even easier with the Docker instance. And you will have an application in just like 5-6 minutes. And for example, if you want to show something to a customer, you don't want to invest on servers or something, you can just spin up the Docker, the containers, and you're good to go. And all these are just in my laptop. So imagine if you have a server on hosted, maybe in the cloud. So you can run it on Docker, the cost remains low, all the benefits. So that is what this modernization is all about. So of course, as we talk about the financial impact, it reduces much more because you can spin up Docker whenever you want, and in the rest of the time it can be shut down. And let's say if you want to add some other components or stuff, you can do it on the fly. And with Docker, it is even easier to simulate because there are APIs for configuration with SMC, Siebel Management Console. So it is even easier to configure and bring up things faster. So that's with the first slide. So, and I'll share the next slide as well. Then we can go to demo and questions. Screen is visible?
Yes, you're on.
Yeah, thanks. Let me know if I'm going too fast because I thought there is a time crunch, so that's why I'm just skipping through the slides.
No, take your time. It's open end, so we
Okay,
definitely have time. You don't have to rush.
All right, then I will take some more time during demo, so that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so this is one of the interesting POC that I did for parallel processing. So the main issue what I faced with Siebel is whatever calls that goes to server is synchronous. and I have to wait the task to complete till I go to the next one, even though the two tasks are not at all related. Let's say, for example, I want to display a dashboard. It can load in the backend, but the user can navigate to different view and do some other work. But now what happens if the dashboard is getting loaded where he even doesn't have to edit data? It's just a dashboard, right? So he has to wait until the data is loaded. And if the data is more, for example, in our case, let's say there's an organization with like 700 or 1,000 employees. So it would take some time to load all the details, and I cannot load everything in one dashboard. So I have to split it up because of performance issue. So since Siebel is hosted, okay, let's move. So that's the whole idea. And the second issue is with the outbound APIs. Now it is laborious because you have to import the contract, create the REST service, the proxy service, IOs, transformations, everything. And in some situations, like it doesn't support patch method, then we have to do a different way. It doesn't support a multi-part upload. For example, if I want to upload a file with a multi-part API, which I cannot do. So all these bottlenecks are there. So these are the two major issues that I faced. So of course, there's the problem that it talks about and the solution. Since Siebel is currently now hosted on Apache Tomcat, right? So I thought, why cannot we build our own servlet? So that does all these stuff that current Siebel cannot do. For example, parallelism. Let's say it executes, it get workflow in the background to get the data, and the user can navigate to other view. He doesn't have to block because it doesn't follow the normal path how the Siebel requests data. It goes through this custom servlet and gets the data. And the second for the outbound API, as I talked about, we can just add the body, call the method of the servlet, and that in turn calls the external API with the same body and the method, and it just gives the output. It just acts as a proxy for outbound API. You don't have to import the contract, no proxy business service, no IOs, nothing. And since it is direct servlet, there's no limitation. You can use any method of the outbound API, multi-part, whatever it is. And that is the one. And one more point about the solution is with that it fetches data as per the user position. So internally, the servlet acts as a Siebel JPS. It makes a connection with the user ID and then fetches the data. Yeah, and of course, it has faster UX responses, everything. So that's what it achieves. And business impact, as we just talked about, and the servlet uses encrypted cookie plus TLS encryption. It's the similar kind of industry encryption that it uses for the cookie, which uses the obfuscation and salt method and hashing of the encrypted string. And of course, the logs and everything that is there in the Apache Tomcat already. So it writes the logs to the same folder. Everything is the same. It's just an extra custom servlet that is there. So let's go into the demo. And let me access the Siebel application. So I have a call center application deployed. So you see my screen, right? The Siebel?
Yes, we're on.
Of course. Yeah. And since I've logged into Siebel, I have put an SSO and the key cloak identity management. So I have to log in if I'm not logged in. So it will ask me a passkey of my current laptop. So this is how we work in current systems at Rabobank. So that's how I set up this lab with. So now it is logged into Siebel, and this is everything is on Docker. So if I go back to the Docker instance, if you see, I have Oracle database running, and these three are Siebel, the AI application interface, the gateway, and the Siebel server itself. And yeah, the Siebel LDAP, this is a separate container. The key clock is a separate container. The Apache, so Apache acts as a reverse proxy which sits at the front, and it distributes the data to key clock, Siebel, and the API. So this is the containers that I have at the moment. So any question in this? Perfect. Now I will move to the next part of the demo, which is about the parallel processing. So I have created a view called parallel processing. This view have different section. So one section is fetching data from the outside API using Siebel REST, and one is directly calling the API from the browser using the servlet, and one is calling Siebel workflow to fetch the data. So I'll just inspect it so we can see what is happening in the background. And the servlet works in a way that I will also explain with Postman later. So now I'll go to the view. So it loaded. So now I can go back to any view. In meantime, the view is loading, so I can navigate anywhere. Earlier, it used to block me in normal Siebel. Now I can go anywhere. And if you see, it is calling a workflow in the background. So I will pass this information to servlet. I will ask it to run this workflow. So the servlet executes a GPS connection in the background to the database, to the Siebel server, and runs this workflow with the user credentials. So all the data that user can see, it only fetches that data, nothing else. And how it works. So I'll go back to the Postman. Let's say I have a session logged in. So when I run this servlet, so this is the servlet, it generates a cookie in the background. So this cookie is the authentication for the servlet, right? So this cookie has information like the user login, the server process ID, the task number, when the user started the session, everything. So the servlet verifies the user login with the current login that the user has logged into the system, which is this one, and it generates the cookie. So I need this cookie to call the servlet. If I don't have the cookie, it simply doesn't execute. And for example, I have an inbound for Siebel. So if I run this, so this is what it done in the front end. So it executed this workflow, it fetched the output. So this is the output from the external API. So this workflow calls the external API, then it returns this response. So that's how the servlet works. And of course, once it is done, we can just log off the JDB session that the servlet created. It logs off with this method, with this path. And for example, now if I try to access, so now if I try to access, it says invalid cookie because I already logged off. There is no cookie. The cookie is empty now because I logged off. So that's why it says invalid cookie. So that's how I'm trying to use the servlet to bind the gap between the current Siebel limitation. And of course, since it is a Java program, the servlet, it gives additional enhancement to Siebel. So you can do modern stuff with Siebel. For example, when we are trying to implement a chatbot, we cannot do a parallel calls to the server. So with this servlet, I can make a parallel call to the server from the chatbot application. So which solved one of our major issues, I would say. Yeah, so this is in a nutshell. I'll stop sharing now. Any questions?
Yeah. Hey, this is Kerry. I've got a question. What if you have parallel requests, but one request depends on the other and it doesn't come back in time? How do you handle that?
Yeah, for now, the chaining is not there. So of course that you can still implement in the servlet using circuit breakers and stuff like that. But I've not gone that far. It is just, a POC that would demonstrate that capability can be built in, right?
Okay. Yeah. So would just have to write some additional logic to handle something like that.
So
Okay.
now
Yeah,
I have
cool.
only
Thanks.
two logic. It creates a JDB session to Siebel to execute the workflow or business service, and it executes the workflow for the outbound APIs. So that's only two I have. So we can add further stuff to it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. One of the things we wanted to work on, hopefully this year, is running more than one workflow in parallel. So that's something we're looking at.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes. Okay. Great session, Guru. Thank you very much for
Thanks.
walking us through this. It's always super impressive what people build. Please give it up for Guru. It's
Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
you're running on your laptop. I see you're running Docker desktop for Windows. You have Siebel containers
Yeah.
buzzing on your laptop, and that is a way I see with customers who try to build, let's say, sandbox environments or development prototyping environments like you did, and on a very low cost scale. So you just need a proper laptop, Docker,
Yeah.
Podman, whatever. And I also like the use of Keycloak for demonstrating that you can do OAuth with Siebel and SSO very easily. Yeah, thank you very much for this great demo.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I have one question,
Mm-hmm.
which is related to the most recent developments in Siebel. 25.12 brought us open integration
Yeah.
with, as you know, the Helidon service, the microservice, which does it reminds me a lot what you have done. Reminds me of what Oracle has done with Helidon, a mini Java program that talks to the Siebel Object Manager and exposes a REST API. So
Yeah.
how do you think open integration fits into your solution? Is there?
Yeah, it is not a direct match, but yeah, since it's a custom, we can try to accommodate. But with this solution, I don't have to go for a big bang upgrade and stuff. It's just a custom servlet. You just fly on the server side, just change your proxy rules to
Yes, of
point to
course.
servlet. Yeah, and you are good to go. You know, it's the time to go live is very less with this.
Yeah, sure, because the code is yours, the servlet is
Yeah.
absolutely, you have the full control. And okay, yes, thank you very much. So yeah, if anybody has any questions to the softclouds team, Uday and the softclouds team, or Guru, please post them in the chat. We still have a few more minutes to go. I would like to come back on the 26.1, the web component framework, because I just realized that when I set up my 26.1 machine, I set up the web component demo, and I just tried it. It actually works. I wanted to share that with you. It's a real treat. So bear with me for a second. And you can see here the classic Siebel account summary. So I'm quite sure you have seen this view before if you work with Siebel order management, for example, or Siebel communications. That's the prime view where you have the customer and you have the installed assets, the billing items, you have the quotes and orders and trouble tickets. So it's a big view. Always a challenge to visualize this on one screen. Also a victim for data load, performance issues, etc. So this is how it looks in 26.1 if you go to Aurora, if you use the Aurora theme. And I have another session open here with the Redwood tab theme, which was, of course, introduced in 25.10. And I have the same account open. And if I go to the account summary and this in the Redwood theme, okay, you'll see what happens. It looks quite different. Yes, so we have definitely a Redwood plus Oracle chat component loaded right here on top of the applets, replacing the classic OpenUI. So I have not done anything else than to register that sample JavaScript file from Oracle with this view. And this is what happens when you open it in Redwood. So yeah, just wanted to share this because it's a nice outlook into the future of Siebel OpenUI and the future of the Siebel OpenUI training that we deliver on Siebel Hub. Definitely worth exploring. And now I have to learn Oracle Chat. Thank you very much. All right. So with that, we are reaching the end of our Siebel Friday. Anything else I can do for you? Anything else you want to know, put in the chat, reach out. I placed links in the chat for you to find our schedules. Let me quickly share that, because some people experienced some difficulties finding the Siebel Friday, and I just want to share that because this will also appear on YouTube. So when you use the second link I pasted in the chat, this is the overview page of all the available sessions you can book on Zoom. And the Siebel Friday is right here. So if you click the Siebel Friday or follow the link, this is, of course, only once per month. So the schedule always shows a week or a month down here. So if you go to February, you will see the 27th, the last Friday of February, there's a bookable slot. So all you have to do is click on that 5 p.m. It says 5 p.m. now because that's my time zone. Of course, your time zone will different. And here you can register for the February Siebel Friday and so forth. For security reasons, we have now switched to having one session every month with a fresh Zoom URL. So this is how you register from now on. And if you have any questions, of course, you know how to reach me. Drop me an email, and I can also put you on a mailing list so you get the URL without registrations. We want to make it as easy as possible to get to Siebel Friday. And if you're interested in any of the live training sessions, this works the same way. So, for example, the open integration, you find schedule. We have free slots on Tuesday and Thursdays. Find your slot that you want to have the live training session. And of course, then you will be prompted for payment. And once you have paid, you will be admitted to the session. So we run these sessions on a regular basis to ensure that everybody gets the training they need when they need it. All right. So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It was a great first Siebel Friday of the year, and here's to many more. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Alex.
everyone.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.